Happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome to Deep in the Plus. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Tonight, we are going to be talking about something fairly new, but we're going to go deep into this one. And to talk about it, let's bring up the panel. These people have been rowdy as all get out in pre-show. Man, I can't even tell you. Eric Wolf, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys? Hello.
So good. Desi?
Welcome, foolish Muppets.
I don't feel good about that. And Mr. Patrick Hackett is muted.
Oh
man, I'm not the first to mute this way.
Nor shall you be the last. Wait a minute. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to be talking about the Muppets Haunted Mansion. It just dropped last Friday, and we were too excited to talk about this. It's spooky season. It's Muppets. We all love the Muppets. Let's talk about the Muppets for a second before we get into this, though, because I feel weird about the Muppets. I love the Muppets. I feel like everybody loves the Muppets, and yet, at the same time, the Muppets can't catch a break, and it's almost like they're like the story of their lives, right? Because it was always they're like the downtrodden, the can't quite get it together. The Muppet Show, it was always like we're running behind, we've lost a guest, all this kind of weirdness. But the Muppet Show was fun. And then, you had Muppets Tonight, and you had these great Muppet movies that were in the theater. But at least recently, Muppets can't catch a break. I mean, this is Kermit, arguably, is like as iconic almost as Mickey. And so you've got this property that you own, and you just, I don't know what's going on. So Wolf, let me start with you about the Muppets. How do you feel about them? What's going wrong with the Muppets? Why can't we get good Muppet stuff?
Ooh, that's like a loaded question. So I love the Muppets. I think it's just the Muppets' humor is particular. It's a particular humor, and I think just the Disney company right now doesn't, or should I say, didn't know what to do with it. We'll get to it, in just a little bit of how I feel about this new special that we just saw. But I love the Muppets, and I love them all characters.
Oh, wait a minute. So first of all, I apologize, Wolf. I think that Patrick was redecorating his house while you were talking.
Sorry,
there could not have been more loud. But Patrick,
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Did
it's
not
fine.
realize that was picking up.
That was super loud. It's fantastic.
My laptop was dying. I wanted to plug it in.
Okay, well, let's go to you, Patrick, and your Muppet feelings, and if there are any in particular that you don't care for.
There might be one Muppet I do not care for. He's a Muppet of a man, and he's not a very manly Muppet. Glad his role was diminished in this. Walter is the worst Muppet that's ever been created. Now, a lot of people give the King Prawn Peppy a bad rap. He is hysterical. He carries this special. And I agree with what Wolf was saying, if you couldn't hear it, and I really do apologize, is that Disney didn't know what to do with these classic characters, and I think maybe we're turning a corner. I also think that it could just turn out like great moments in history and just go away, and that's that.
Yay!
The worst.
Look,
Desi, same question.
First off, Patrick, how dare you? Pepe the Prawn is my favorite Muppet, so I was excited that he got such a big role in this, and I'm sorry that not everybody loves the Muppets as much as I do.
Oh, she just called you a Muppet hater, Patrick. She called you a Muppet hater. Yeah, she did that. So
It's okay to not love all the Muppets.
No.
They're not all lovable.
It is not.
definitely is.
No. Well, okay. So here's the thing, though. I like Pepe so much. I think was it Bill Beretta? Is he the guy who came with the bear and also the King Prawn at the same time? They were part of Muppets Tonight. He may have even been Clifford, your homie made a foamy. I don't know, but all of those Muppets from Muppets Tonight were really kind of like, here, how do we take this to the next generation? And they stuck around, and then they did the Muppet movie with Jason Segel, and that's where we were introduced to Walter, and so then he's kind of sticking around. So when they add them, they kind of become part of the family, which is cool, and it gives them some other, ones to rotate in and out. You still got, another one that came from Muppets Tonight, I believe, that is now part of this movie is Uncle Deadly. Uncle Deadly,
Good Muppet right there.
Yeah, and used I think appropriately. He was on the Muppet show, the TV show that they did, the Muppets, and the recent one that they did that was like The Office, and he was I guess Piggy's like butler, and just he was
her assistant.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so good. So I mean, I think there's something for everybody, I guess, is our point here. But Pepe in Muppets from Space is where like I kind of first fell in love with him. And he's like, "There's been a menu correction, okay? We're having peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but no bread." And I was just like, "Yes, he's so good." But I love this combination of Gonzo and Pepe, and it's very similar to the combination that we saw with Gonzo and Rizzo in the Christmas Carol, which A Muppet Christmas Carol is one of my favorite ones. And I don't really know why, because I don't love the Christmas Carol story, because we've talked about it when we reviewed them. It's kind of depressing. It's not really Christmas. It's overdone. But at the same time, I think the best one to me is the Muppets Christmas Carol. So the fact that they could take a classic story and convert it and do it the Muppet way and have it be so good is just really great to me. But they've had so many misses. The Muppet Wizard of Oz, I don't know if you guys like saw that one or not.
That one that I actually don't know at all.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say, I don't think I knew they did
I
that
really
one.
like the designs. They did a great job on everyone's design. So like puppetry design was great, on par with that one. But just story was for
Yeah,
me.
the Muppets Wizard of Oz, Ashanti was Dorothy, and I think Queen Latifah was Auntie M, and
Ja Rule in it too. If Ashanti's in it, Ja Rule can't be far behind.
Ooh,
no, I don't. I think you're wrong.
so.
But it was another one that was just kind of out there. Muppet Treasure Island, with Tim Curry as like that was a pretty good one too. But again, it didn't really catch, right? So I think that's kind of, since Brian took over, that's kind of been their thing, is a Muppet version of something else. Mm-hmm. Until the Muppet movie that came out, and with Jason Segel, which I thought was fun. Apparently, it left Patrick a little scarred.
See, it's just Walter. It's just Walter. He's
So
designed that way.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So then there was the Muppets Most Wanted that came out after that, which was sort of a sequel. It was about 3 years later, and that one fell hard. Oh my gosh, that one, the whole like evil twin Kermit thing. I mean, I don't know.
That first song, they're making a sequel. Such a good one.
But the Muppets are so fun. Obviously, Muppet Vision has lasted at Disney World, but we've lost it at Disneyland because it wasn't important enough, I guess, to keep in there. They've shoved so many other things in there, and now it's Mickey's PhilharMagic. We had Here Come the Muppets, a show that was at Hollywood Studios. There was all this dream of Jim Henson partnering with Disney and making the Great Muppet Movie, all that kind of stuff. So before we're over here, I think we should talk about the Muppets and their future. But right now, let's talk about Muppets Haunted Mansion. So we just saw this thing. It's about 49 minutes long. Dropped on Disney Plus on Friday, and it's, again, the timing is perfect. It's got all of your hallmark things of a Muppet movie. It's got, the weird twists. It's got the cameos. It's got the musical numbers. Give me some thoughts overall about this movie. I'm gonna go with you, Desi, because I feel like you've got some pretty strong thoughts about this movie.
I think this movie is inspirational. It's celebrational. Dare I say, it's Muppetational. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. It combined two of my favorite things, which would be the Haunted Mansion, one of my favorite rides, and the Muppets. So I love the way that they pulled it in and they put little Muppet touches to the Haunted Mansion. The one thing that I thought was a little strange was that there were only 3 stretching room portraits. I don't know if you want me to go into that now or wait until we're talking more about it.
No, because I know you have deep thoughts on that one. Let's hold off on that one.
Okay.
Patrick, what did you go into this movie expecting?
I don't know what I was expecting, but man, it hit the spot right exactly when I needed it to. It really was just an absolute treat. The 52-minute runtime flew by. I actually heard a couple complaints that people felt it could have been a little bit longer, and I agree. I think there was a lot of story to be fleshed out there. they hit the beats that you expected them to, and I think their choices of who was representing whom in the attraction was incredibly well done. I think this is now required Halloween season viewing for me.
Okay. How do you feel about
Now,
this?
I like that a lot because I think a lot of couples have been where one partner likes Halloween way more than the other one, and that's the kind of stuff that happens. Yeah, it felt very real.
Okay. Wolf, I'm going to ask you a different question here. Choice of Muppets. Were all the Muppets you wanted to be in here, or was there somebody missing?
So I've seen this twice, and honestly speaking, I can't figure out if Rizzo himself is in this. Like, I know there's like 3 or 4 rats, but I'm like, was Rizzo in this? That was the only one that I can really think of that I was like, oh man, he's not really represented.
No, I don't think Rizzo was in it. I think that's one of the other rats that was making the introductions. I don't think that was Rizzo. So that's interesting. So he's your boy.
That too.
You like Rizzo?
That's the one that I was like, Rizzo's missing.
He was busy making pizza.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Shout out to Neko, who says there's actually some drama behind the Rizzo Muppet fracture, and that Pepe is kind of like taking the Rizzo role over. But as a trio, they would be amazing together.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're so right. As a trio, oh gosh.
Okay, all right. So then let's talk a little bit about the as the movie unfolds. The whole idea is that Gonzo's been challenged. He's given a Halloween challenge to go to this haunted house, and so he's always up for a challenge as a great Gonzo. He's got Pepe with him, who is just ready to go to a really cool Halloween party. Who's not dressed for a Halloween party? He's dressed for
a gala.
A gala, exactly.
To meet famous people, okay?
Yeah.
Party.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, lots of Pepe impressions coming, and it's too much.
I'm not doing impressions.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so so they're on their way to this mansion, and it's the haunted mansion, and it's not really the haunted mansion. I mean, how do we feel about that?
I thought it was weird that they didn't pick one of the haunted mansions. They just kind of went with generic haunted mansion.
Yeah.
See, I felt it was like half and half. I felt like that front porch column felt a little Disneyland, and then the wide shot felt a little Disney World.
Yeah. I felt the same way, Patrick. Like, I thought it was very reminiscent of France. Like their
the Phantom Manor,
quote unquote, haunted mansion. Yeah. The facade, at least, really reminded me of that.
Yeah, I don't know that you could have won here though, because I would have loved to have seen the original haunted mansion just as is. That would have been kind of cool. But then, would you get the people who are like, "Ooh, that's not hashtag not my haunted mansion." I mean, would people have done that? I don't know. So maybe it did have to be something different. I think the one in the Eddie Murphy movie was also something very different. But anyway,
it works for a Muppet, special, for them to make it their own.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. And so Gonzo and Pepe get to the haunted mansion, and the gate opens and they walk in because apparently the car has to leave them at the corner. And then the Yvette Nicole Brown is our first real cameo. So she is the driver, and she says, "Hey, you know what? I've dropped a whole bunch of people off here. I've never had any that I got to pick up. So we probably won't see you again. So goodbye." But it was neat again to see her. But I feel like she's very almost synonymous with Disney Plus at this point because she had a little game show. She was in Lady and the Tramp. Like, did they just get her in like a deal that says we're going to put you in like 100 Disney Plus things before the 5 years is up? Is that what happened? I don't know. But it's always good to see her.
She has a tendency to get into projects she really loves. For a while, she was hosting The Talking Dead. She's a big fan of that, and I know she's a big Disney fan. I can't see her as anything other than Shirley from Community, though. She's a very talented actress. That's just how I see her.
No, that's fair.
She also did like a YouTube a show when Once Upon a Time was on. She was Goldilocks.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was just like a YouTube thing.
So Darren Criss makes his appearance as the caretaker. Are we big Darren Criss fans? Basically, I know Darren Criss from Glee. Oh, okay. Well, from Glee is where I know him from.
Darren Criss is an amazing actor. He is one of what's his name's go-to guys. That director who does American Horror Stories, and he directed him in the oh my god, the famous Designer miniseries that he was in. He does a great job. He's also guested on Supergirl and I believe Flash.
Okay.
Big fan. Incredibly talented.
So, Wolf, I know you have some Fraggles up behind you. Why does this look like Sprocket? Why does this look like Sprocket?
It does.
I mean, he doesn't look at all like the dog we know from the Haunted Mansion, right? He looks like Sprocket.
He does. It's just a Muppet dog, and I love him.
Oh, Sprocket. I mean, and so in the graveyard we see, they do this little montage. They do a song because you've always got to get a song, right? And so they do this little song. And one of the things that took me by surprise was Alfonso Ribeiro. Like he because he's so misshapen, he kind of looks like Sinbad here, like with the big like 80s shoulder pad thing going on. Am I wrong? Like, I mean,
So funny.
yeah. So I mean, that was kind of neat.
He wasn't the one that got me. The one that got me was Pat Sajak.
Oh yeah, Pat Sajak.
My wife thought she saw him. I was like, was it really him? And I guess it was like blink and you missed it. Yep, that's definitely him.
Right?
Yeah. And he doesn't really do anything other than he's there. So I'm like, we had this conversation when we were watching. It's like, how do they come up with these cameos? Do they go out and they like stick their head around on the lot and go, yo, you, come here. Just need you for 5 minutes. Hit the makeup guy. He's going to do something for you. You'll be fine. Like, how do they decide who's going to be in it? You didn't cast this thing going, okay, we've got these 5 busts. Definitely Pat Sajak. Easy. We nailed that one. Definitely going to have him in there. I mean, it seems weird, the collection that they've done for that. And like,
They walk around the lot going, hey, you like Muppets? And everybody they can get to come with them, they just throw in the show.
yeah. I mean, this lineup, like, who picked this lineup out?
Right?
Yeah. Sky Jackson? What?
Sky Jackson, yup.
So weird.
Justina Machado is in there. I'm like, what?
Yeah, there were some people that I did not recognize from it, but I mean, the first one that I saw, like, I definitely saw Pat Sajak as it was going along, and I'm just like, I don't know why this is a person. Craig Robinson does not look like Craig Robinson. He looks kind of like LeBron James.
I didn't know it was Craig Robinson until I saw the credits, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So, I mean, again, Muppets, synonymous with cameos that you don't expect, but where the freak do they come up with who needs to be in this, and how do they get them? I mean, everybody wants to be in a Muppet movie, I assume, right?
When I'm thinking of 2 actors that definitely go together, Pat Sajak and Craig Robinson come to mind immediately.
They've been looking for a project. They finally found it. It was the Muppets Haunted Mansion. So when I'm watching this thing, what I'm watching it for though is honestly, I love the Muppets. I do love the Muppets, but what I'm watching this for is the Haunted Mansion. I'm a Parks fan. We're all Parks fans. That's what I want out of this, and I feel like they delivered on that. Let me start with you, Patrick. Was there something in here that was so Haunted Mansion that you were just like, chef's kiss, this is perfect, or was there stuff missing for you?
I don't think there was anything missing for me. I think it was nice and steady. Someone in our wonderful wig scored, if you're not a wig, you should be, pointed out that you kind of took the ride, and I thought that was great. It was the perfect send up and homage to. It's kind of how I feel like Teen Beach Movie, where it's a great send up of the genre, but it's also a sweet homage to it, and that's how I felt with The Mansion.
How dare you compare this to Teen Beach Movie?
That's exactly how I feel.
You're out, Wolf.
Don't forget,
exactly
we're reviewing
how I
that right
feel.
after Brink.
Oh man, but no, I honestly loved every single nod that they had to the Haunted Mansion, and like Patrick said, it became like you were literally just like writing, and it was such a wonderful thing to see, because like the Haunted Mansion movie did it kind of like what Pirates did. It gave us like little hints and stuff, but this was like full on, just Haunted Mansion, and it was great. It was great to see.
Yeah, almost like they went in with a checklist and it was like, what is it that people really recognize about the Haunted Mansion? We don't want to miss anything because we're doing this for the fans, and we were just as fans like, thank you, absolutely. One of the things though, and I'm going to get to you, Desi, on this, but I have to talk about the ghost host first, which Will Arnett. God love him. I mean, like, Will Arnett's the best. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if you guys love him as much as I do, but he's so good. He is our ghost host, but he's also, for some reason, like the guy, like the cast member running the joint, because he's kind of got that outfit on, but he's also got this weird, like, why couldn't it have just been a purple vest? I don't know why it had to have those things on it. But I was also distracted by the fact that the candles were definitely computer like generated. Were you guys distracted by that a little bit? Like they weren't actually lit, but like maybe he's got some in his contract. He's not allowed around fire. I mean, and they didn't make him light bulbs. Yeah, right. Who knows what'll happen? Go ahead, Desi.
I was more thinking that they didn't want to accidentally catch one of the Muppets on fire.
Yeah, Muppets are notoriously flammable.
Yeah, I think Pepe must have had it in his contract then. So, same question about the attraction versus the special for you, Desi.
Okay, well, I mean, I loved the song. I loved seeing like the opera singer, even just the caretaker with his little lamp and his dog. Right up through the full, the full speech from entering the stretching room. But can I talk about my stretching room beef now?
Go for it.
Okay. They only showed 3 stretching room portraits. And I know that when they came out with the Eclair at Hollywood Studios, they also only had the 3 stretching room eclairs, and then the 4th eclair was just like the wallpaper. And I was thinking, oh, maybe they're waiting until the movie comes out for this big reveal of what the 4th one is. But they never did. And I have this theory that the 4th stretching room portrait was too gruesome for Disney Plus. I think it was probably Miss Piggy sitting on top of a grave with Kermit with an axe through his head, and they decided that it was too scary for children to see that.
This just in. Patrick has a theory. Patrick, what is your theory?
I don't have a theory.
Sorry, man. Just trying to keep you on your toes, and you just dropped the ball. Oh, okay. Anyway, so let's talk about this. So I do think that's interesting. I mean, you do have. I mean, you famously have 4 stretching room portraits, and they miss one. And it could have been anything. I mean, and even if that was too dark, I feel like you could have fixed that in post. You could have put something else in there. I mean, was it too much to describe all 4 of them? Maybe I don't know. But Wolf has a theory. Go ahead, Wolf.
So, the 4th stretching room portrait, isn't that Constantine? That's on, or Constance? Sorry, not Constantine. Constance sitting on the tombstone.
Yes.
Or am I mistaken?
Oh, so you're thinking maybe they were playing their hand too early if they show her?
Correct.
Oh, that's smart.
That's what I think, because everyone else was a Muppet, had a Muppet counterpart except her. She was Tiger P. Henson.
Okay. All right. Well, and let's just remind everybody though that Constantine is the evil Kermit and not the bride.
Yes.
There's a difference. Okay. Kermit. Yes. All right. You were going to say there, Patrick?
So, going a little inside baseball, and the one theory I have is that you hardly ever show a full side of a room. So my guess is that it can't fit in the shot, and they didn't want to break the 180-degree rule, so they just shot those 3 that were in the foreground. But I like Wolf's answer a lot better. That seems like the right thing. We didn't spoil it.
Also, they went through the wrong wall.
Yes.
Wow. Y'all are a tough audience. Hey, so here's but first of all, before we continue, thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. It helps people find the show, and it really feeds Patrick's ego greatly. So we appreciate it. We really do. So here's the thing that I thought was hilarious and was so understated that you could have missed it was Will Arnett's character speaking Spanish to Pepe. And he has this very complicated line of dialogue in Spanish, and Pepe says to him in Spanish, "Do you speak Spanish?" And he says, "No." I mean, that to me was so it was so funny. And then they pick up that joke again in the stretching room where he just starts talking to him in Spanish again. So understated, so good. That, oh man, I just didn't want to get away from this without talking about that part. That was really funny to me. Sorry.
I felt a lot of the time he was doing his Lego Batman voice too.
Yes. I mean that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he used they used a lot of the dialogue from the Ghost Host, but they didn't use all of it, which I thought again, well done. Don't overuse it. We're huge fans. We don't really need you to to go too far into this.
I want them to go too far into it though.
Yeah. You ever been annoyed when you're standing in the stretching room where the guy next to you is saying all of the words out loud? Or do you love that? Just me?
I don't mind it.
Cool, fantastic.
I don't mind it.
Just me.
But I don't say it either.
Clearly, I'm the worst. Okay.
I always try and stomp when the lights go out to try and frighten people because that's where I get my joy.
In the pain of others?
In the pain of others.
Wow. Okay. So let me ask you this: is this with the gargoyles? Is this the Manamana guy?
Yeah, definitely.
No, that's Janice. Oh, yes.
The gargoyles. Yeah.
No, I know. I was like,
no, I know
yeah,
Janice.
Definitely.
Thanks for school and thanks for Muppet-splaining to me, Patrick. I'm offended. I'm so offended right now. I can't even with you. It's just too much. No, but I saw that. I was like, what a great, that's the thing I love about the Muppets too. When they incorporate the ones you're like, that's a reach. Like, who would have really recognized that? So good. So
Yes.
Good spot. Really good spot. Nice eyes. Well done.
Aw, I like your eyes too. So raise your hand if you're uncomfortable. So here's one of the stretching portraits after it's already. This is perfect with him standing on the dynamite. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, like again, there's so many different Muppets that have so many different things about them that there's just something for everybody. So them recreating the entire Haunted Mansion cast is awesome. So let me ask you with that, were there any that were miscast? Because I have one in mind that I think was miscast, but I'm gonna ask you guys if there was one Muppet that you were like, I don't think that should have been this Muppet. And there weren't too many that were playing actual characters, right? Because when we see the hitchhiking ghost at the end, they're not the Muppets, which I also thought was strange. I mean, like why them? Like why not choose them? But were there any that you thought were miscast? Let's start with Miss Desi.
I can't think of any.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Or am I wrong on that? Do you guys think they were all spot on?
I have one.
Okay, let's hear it, Wolf.
I honestly don't necessarily like Fozzie as the Hatbox Ghost.
Thank you. That's the one I was thinking of too.
I thought
Literally.
that was hilarious.
I thought
Yeah, but
perfect.
I don't know. I don't know who else he could have been, but I kind of felt like it was a little weird.
I don't know that you could have pulled it off, but Sweetums. And maybe the head was too big for the box. That would have been funny.
Sweetums' head even start and end.
That's. I mean, that seems like a problem for the tech people on this show, not for us. But yeah, I don't know.
This hat box.
Yeah. I did love Patrick. Any that you think were off, or you think it was all correct?
I always want a bigger role for Sam Eagle, but I enjoyed the spot he was in.
That was bad.
Draw.
I just thought he was good too.
Yes.
What I do think that we had two that I guess you can't fit every Muppet in here, but I think we had two that were miscast, and I think that this was not enough for them.
Aw.
But I loved their line where like this is our only part or whatever, this is our cameo or whatever. That was kind of funny. So I think that they were a little bit lost in this, but maybe that's okay. Maybe they don't need to overuse, Honeydew and Beaker and Chef, and maybe that's too much. But I do like those guys, so seeing them just there for a hot minute was probably a little bit disappointing. But I think overall they probably cast everybody okay. So as the story progresses, the ghost host has introduced Gonzo to there's a challenge. You have to go to room 999, and you have to face your fear. And he's like, I'm the great Gonzo, I don't have a fear. Meanwhile, Pepe has come in contact with Constance, and she's wooing him into being her next husband.
Called me Jumbo.
Wow. What did we just say about making impressions of Pepe the whole time?
It's so good though. He was so smitten. It was adorable.
Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. What about the cameo of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem? And I've got that pulled up right here with Madame Leota. Kind of cool.
Janice got 2 ghosts, I guess.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. This bothered me. Why the whole side story of the costume party that Gonzo didn't go to with Kermit and the gang? I hated that they doubled up on the Muppets. That Miss Piggy was at that party, but she was Madame Leota. I don't. That's
Pigota.
Thank you for the catch. I appreciate that, Desi. Keep me honest all the time. But then, and Kermit has a second role like that. I mean, if it's Gonzo and he's recognizing them, so like in the Muppets Christmas Carol, he was Charles Dickens. He was the narrator. That's whatever. He recognizes them. He must recognize them. So it's why did we have to have that other storyline? That's a little nitpicky thing.
Said that they look familiar, or there's something.
I was about to say,
about them.
Didn't Will Arnett say that?
Yeah, I guess so. But still, why did you need to do it though?
I felt like they actually should have cut back to the party more. I felt like I agree with you. I don't know why I got a pen and I'm suddenly pointing with it, but yeah, this is my prop now. I agree with what Rob said, and I think that it should have been separate. The Muppets, pardon me, that were at the party and were in the mansion. I think there's enough Muppets that we could have done that with them. I wanted more party. I wanted to see what was going on at the party as well.
Okay. Then let's stop and talk about this for a second. Then I said runtime 49 minutes because it was 49:50 until the credits. You said 52, which is the actual runtime. So just so there's no misunderstanding, 52 minutes we'll go with. Why is this a special and not a movie? Because shouldn't it have been like a 90-minute? I feel like there was more. We could have put that extra stretching room portrait in there. We could have done some more stuff with the party. Like they could have fleshed it out more. It feels like 59 or 52 minutes runtime isn't quite enough. Like it feels like it should have been an actual movie. Yeah. You guys all agree?
Maybe if they made it longer to be an actual movie, they would have gone through the effort of putting it in theaters.
I don't know. They make a lot of content direct for Disney Plus, and also on top of that,
especially 90 minutes.
Muppets Most Wanted. I think that was a box office flop.
Yeah.
I think maybe some of their issue with the other Muppet movies that didn't do as well was that they were too long, and so they decided to cut out all of the fluff and just get to the heart of the movie and just keep the pace going.
When you say fluff, is that a Muppet joke?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that it's the sweet spot, the special. Like you think about like Peanuts, and you think about all the holiday specials. I think that they're kind of trying to recreate that. I also wish it was a feature length, and I think it would have been a little bit better as a feature length if it was, competing the party in the mansion, or there were more parallels. There was a lot more you could do there. But I think they're trying to bring back that 70s and 80s holiday special, and this is what the magic of Disney Plus is that they can churn these things out and get them out to us relatively quickly. And I'm hopeful that this is the beginning of yearly specials. Come on, Muppets Tower of Terror, let's do it.
Oh my gosh! Why would you even put that in my mind? Now I wish
I'm
that
putting
was
it out
the
into
thing.
the ether. I know you're paying attention, Bob C. I see you.
They're replacing Scarlett Johansson with Janice.
I mean, yeah. Who was it? Somebody in chat just brought up. Let's see, who was it? It was John brought this up in chat. This was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah, like a little random, right? I don't know.
Gosh,
So
good.
yeah, there's a lot of little things like that, and there's also your by the way, you're not Rizzo. There he is at the bottom there, not Rizzo.
Yeah, he's been in a couple things before as well.
Yeah.
He has. He's done some off-Broadway work. I think he's done some commercials probably.
I believe I saw him in Freestyle Love Supreme that I saw the other day. I think he was in it.
Yes, I think you're right. There was a scene with Sweetums right before the ballroom scene where he's like running them down on a cart, and I feel like this scene is kind of like where the cart is right there. Is like where the Doom buggy is when we're riding through. Like it overlooks
Yes.
the ballroom, and I
Yeah.
think that was kind of brilliant. Like again, bring us back into the attraction, right? I love how the ballroom scene was so much like the dance scene from the Muppets, like that old fashioned where they do the one-liners back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so good. Yeah. So, but yeah, like them doing the little dance scenes was another place that they got to put in a lot more Muppets, and then of course here's your Sam the Eagle with draw.
It kind of reminded me of Woody in Toy Story 1 as well,
Yeah, you can see that.
with Edge.
So Muppets Now. Did you guys watch Muppets Now?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I think
liked it.
Some of it worked.
Yeah.
see again, I think the Muppets deserve better than that.
But isn't this where their strong suit is? Isn't this where the Muppets shine? Like, if you look, Muppet Vision's a great attraction. It's terrific. And I think it's that kind of off-the-wall, quick-hitting stuff that they work with. And I think in the new age where, TikTok is these quick videos, I think that's where the Muppets can kind of find their place again. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. I think they're hopefully going to refine that. I'm a ride or die for the Muppets, so I'll watch everything that they're in, except apparently Muppet Wizard of Oz that I've never heard of. I think it's about introducing the Muppets into the new generation and kind of letting the new generation find their Muppets. I mean, we had reruns of the Muppet Show and then Muppets Tonight, which people kind of don't think was great. I shared, again, if you're not a wig, you should be, the Peppy joke with the elephant. When you combine an elephant and a rhino, elephino. Yeah. And they keep going to the reaction shot of the audience, and man, you just got to find that hook for the next generation. I think that's what Muppets Now was trying to do. And like Wolf said, some of it popped and some of it didn't. Mostly the stuff with Walter didn't.
The funny thing is, I will agree.
Yeah.
Walter was not used where he should have been. The thing with Walter is essentially supposed to be us.
Yeah.
The big Muppet fans and us, being and feeling, just different because maybe it might be because we love the Muppets so much, kind of thing, and just being able to find our place in the world, and he was able to find his family. So it was very weird when we start using Walter for other things that are not that. Like that's what he shines in. He should be the person. He should actually, I honestly think, be Scooter's assistant. Because he just wants to be around the Muppets. He just wants to be with them and helping them, and that's where he finds joy as well. So I actually think that's the best way to work Walter into anything. Just him being just around, but not necessarily what they were doing with him in Muppets Now.
This is him just being around, almost like where's
Yeah.
where's Waldo, but where's Walter? You can't really even.
And honestly, like, I was so happy just to see him, there, because it's like, great, he's part of it. He's part of the family. Good.
Yeah. Well, you had the penguins, and then the guy with his ape or the monkey that was from I don't know his name,
I
but
forget his
yeah,
name.
he's from Muppets Tonight. You had Lou. I mean, it was an interesting lineup of Constance's previous husbands, right? So, yeah. Why did she marry the penguin and the monkey? I don't know. That's. I mean, she's,
the better question
she's
is, why would
getting
you...
married to a king prawn, so
he's a king. Come on.
Why would you
doesn't
marry New
discriminate.
Zealand? That's the real one. Like, that dude's around fish all the time.
So,
Gotta think.
what is her end game? Is like, I guess this goes back to Constance Hatchaway in the ride, but what is her end game? Is it that she wants to kill people and that's what is fun, or does she want to kill them and get their money? Because Pepe got no money, so like.
but he's a king prawn,
He is a
so
king.
maybe she thinks he has money.
That might,
He showed up in a tuxedo.
Yeah. There's also this cameo, by the way. We'll go back a little bit. This I thought was an interesting cameo because that she's cleaning up the Madame Leota, Madame Pioga. How do you say it again? Desi? Pagoda. There you go. That she's cleaning because that's Kim Irvine. So that's kind of cool that she's in there. That's cool. That's a throw to us, right? Because most Muppet fans wouldn't care who that is, but Park fans would. Park fans know that's somebody special. So
That's my really good Miss Piggy. I've been working on my voices. Can you tell?
I was like, that was good.
Oh,
That
thank
was
you.
even better
You're
than
the
Pepe.
best.
wow.
Oh,
Okay.
and Desi's just cuts to the heart of the matter.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's all make Patrick feel better, but no. So the other thing that I thought was kind of cool about this was there was a scene with the dude, and I'm looking for it now, but the little gopher or whatever he is, that's the lawyer.
He's an otter,
yeah.
isn't he?
He's an otter.
He's
okay.
an otter.
Yeah, he was the lawyer introduced in the Muppets. What was
Muppets
that?
Now, right? I think he was in
No, he was
Muppets
in-
Now.
He was in the other one too. He was in the Office style one, wasn't he?
I don't think so.
I thought
think
he was the network in the Office style one.
Was he?
Oh my gosh, was he?
I think so.
This dude.
Yeah. It looks like Emmett Otter.
It does.
How dare you, sir?
Emmett grew up and he's a judge now.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I did think that it was kind of cool he was in, like, the judge's robes when he was, like, supposed to be the lawyer and all that. That was kind of funny. So they do that big song and dance scene with Kermit, which, again, it's like Kermit's over. I mean, how do you not recognize Kermit, although Constantine, I guess. But, so...
Mustache.
Yeah, exactly. The mustache, it's just you can't tell. It's like Superman, right?
Somebody gave us a super chat speaking, so thank you, Tim. Talking about Kermit's voice.
Yes. Okay. Great, Tim. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Great movie. The Muppets deserve a better Kermit voice. It's so bad. It doesn't sound like Jim or his son that played Kermit. So Steve Whitmire was Kermit and got let go in some some drama and has not taken that lightly. He's been on a lot of podcasts and it's a really quick search to find out, and he'll let you know why he wasn't there. But I agree. And here's the thing. At first, I was gonna Again, Tim, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. I'm going to address it this way first, is that when we first see Kermit in there, he's got the pig snout on, and it actually sounds nasally muffled, which I give them credit for because he's got this on his nose and he can't really talk. But you're right. After that, it doesn't quite feel like Kermit, and he's your guy, right? I mean, that's like Mickey not sounding like Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought,
I thought it was because
was that
of the
one
nose.
of the... yeah.
Let's start with you, Wolf.
Oh, I was going to say, I was thinking when we found out that Gonzo was going to be the main character of this, I was like, is this because of the backlash that they've gotten because of Kermit's voice? like that they don't want to necessarily put Kermit up in the front anymore. Like it's odd, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I guess kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
Desi?
I didn't know that there was backlash. I didn't know all of this backstory. So when I saw the movie, I thought that Kermit's voice sounded weird just because of the nose. I didn't realize that they had swapped out people.
Yeah. Yeah, so when Jim passed away, it went to it went to Steve Whitmire, and I thought Steve Whitmire did a great job. And then again there was some backlash, and I don't know the whole story. But I do think it was very he was such a good transition, just like I feel like Chris, I can't say his last name because it's in Greek, who is now Mickey, was a good replacement, for Brett, and also then for Wayne. So I mean, you've got a good battery of people who are prepared to take over that role and are very good at it, and you would think that would be the same thing for Kermit, because like I said, he is as iconic for the Muppets as Mickey is for the Fab Five and for Disney. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point, and the voice wasn't really all that great. So anyway.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about so we've got two stories now going on, because you've got Pepe now, and Pepe has been separated from Gonzo, and he's going to marry Taraji. They're going to live happily ever after for like 18 seconds, because she's already got the engraved axe next to the wedding that's happening. And then over on the other side, you've got Gonzo facing his fears. I don't know that I've seen anything as disturbing as the Gonzo getting old nose.
It looked like a mosquito.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was. It just wasn't good.
When I go to face my fears, that's also what I'm gonna see.
Okay.
With that nose.
Yeah. Yeah. So hold on a second. Let's all suffer for a moment and take a look at this, because I don't really. It's just, yeah. Is that what Gonzo looks like when he gets old? Because yuck.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, not good. Not good. So there were a couple other songs in this, by the way. There is the song that Taraji sings to, or we'll just say, we'll call her Constance, sings to Pepe. There's the song that Darren Criss sings in the graveyard, and then there's a song they sing in the ballroom. So, I mean, how do you feel about the music for this one, Patrick? Do you think they did a good job on the music? Are any of these a bop?
I don't think there's a bop in there. You know, it's not like Teen Beach Movie that has several classic tunes in it. But there.
Patrick's
Desi, you
I'm trying to make Brink happen. If he's going to talk about Teen Beach, I'm going to start talking about Brink.
You're up, Wolf.
What? What am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to not pander about the wrong DCOMs is what you're supposed to do. Oh, there we go. There we go. The rest of the show is just going to be Wolf doing a puppet show.
Thank you to Rosita for the $50 super chat.
Oh my gosh, Rosita, thank you so much. This is interesting to me to talk about the voices. Being a voice VO myself, it's never easy to get the voice right. I so practice. VO actors don't get much credit. Funny and informative panel, yes. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rosita?
Yeah.
I think that she's spot on right there, though. You don't give the voice actor credit unless you don't notice them. And when you botch something like a classic voice like Kermit, it's so out there in front of you. Like, the new Big Bird is horrendous. And it's immediately noticeable. And you're right. When you're doing good VO, nobody notices you. And that stinks. So shout out to all the VO artists. I mean, there's so many people that do great work.
And you know what? I think as parks people, and animation fans, we are fans of VO people. Like June Foray, was an amazing voice actress who did, Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle, who did Grandma from Mulan. She was fantastic. And Mel Blanc, obviously, we know him. from his Carousel of Progress work, but also, I mean, every Looney Tune, and made them all sound different too. That's the amazing part too, is to make them sound different. To your point, the second Aladdin movie, The Return of Jafar, where
Where it wasn't Robin
no,
Williams.
it wasn't Hank Azaria. It was Dan Castellaneta. Came in
one of
and
them,
was he was the voice, and he's a great voice actor. He does Homer Simpson, but he was not the genie, and it was so off-putting in there. And again, it's not like he was doing a bad job, because he was doing impressions and all kinds of stuff like Robin Williams would, and he was a great choice, I guess, but he wasn't Robin Williams, and it really felt bad. So, all right, so we've got the separate the path that we're going on, and this is the moment where Gonzo has his clarity, and he's looking in the mirror, and then he sees the party that was happening. So maybe this is why the party is necessary, because he's realizing what he fears most is not being with his friends, being alone.
FOMO.
Yeah, exactly. So, is that then reminiscent, the window he's looking for, of all of us looking into our phones on Instagram?
Whoa.
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 So meta.
Live your life. Don't live it through your phone, right, Desi?
Wow.
Unless you're watching WDWNT on YouTube, then yes, please live your life by looking at your phone.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right, so he comes to grips with that. He's faced his fear. He gets to go out of the room. The little lock thing, where there were the little skulls that were locked in the door, and every time he realizes a little bit more, it pops open a little bit. I thought that was great. I mean, I thought that was a really cool thing. When the first couple pop, and then he's realizing more, I'm like, let's see the next one. Let's see the next one.
Yeah.
And then they cut, and they popped again, and the door finally opens, and I was like, that was really cool. I don't know where that comes from. It's not an actual, thing from the Haunted Mansion, but it was really neat that it was in there. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So they now he's comes to grips with that. He's ready to leave. He can leave the Haunted Mansion, but he may have to leave it without Pepe. And he's decided now that he's going to go and he's going to save Pepe. And that was a weird, very quick scene where, again, I feel like the movie needed a little bit more time. Because it was almost oh, by the way, go get him, and there's this huge adventure for him to go up and try to grab this hook. I don't know why he needed to grab the hook. Was that clear?
To pull
Was it
down
the
the
stairs?
attic thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he was trying to get in the attic.
Well, the weird thing to me was it looks like the place where Master Gracie hangs himself in the ride.
I think that's what they were going for.
So then it was like, well, why does he need to be right there? I don't know. It seemed weird.
What was weird was that monster. What was that? That CGI
Yeah,
monster that was
Like,
down
got him
there.
back out.
Oh yeah, at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I was like, this is weird. This was the first time that I was like, why are you guys using CG? So much CG. My second time was at the end with the hitchhiking ghost.
Yeah,
It felt just like the ride, though. It felt like the not so great CG we get at the end of the ride now.
So are you talking about this fantastically crafted monster?
Oh God!
Yeah. I was like, what is this? What Muppet is this?
Not a good one. So I do think it's neat that that Uncle Deadly was presiding over the marriage, but I feel like he could have been used somewhere better because, I mean, for gosh sakes, he's Uncle Deadly.
I thought he would have been a
Also
ghost host.
used
Oh,
John
good.
Stamos.
What about John Stamos?
When John Stamos had his scary moment, wasn't this also Uncle Deadly?
No, that was there's a Muppet that was in the ballroom scene that they actually used that face for.
Oh, I really
I
thought it was
forgot the
Uncle
name of the
Deadly, and I
Muppet.
thought it was funny because I thought it was Uncle Jesse and Uncle Deadly, but maybe that's just the 90s put in me.
That would have been great. No,
Uncle-
the Muppet had more of a beak, and I think purple hair, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
It was
Yeah.
very much large Marge in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That it felt like almost beat for beat that.
Yeah.
I wanted John Stamos to have more of a role. He's such a notorious Disney fan, and I honestly expected NPH to be the great MacGuffin.
Yeah,
Good
so
Lord.
so here, this is the scene with John Stamos, and it's very quick in the way he turns and then runs out. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's go back to that then
That
real
same
quick.
Muppet, yeah.
Why did John Stamos have to be in this? That scene seemed really throwaway.
Why wouldn't you put
John
John Stamos in if you could?
Yeah.
Okay, withdrawn.
Jesse,
Withdrawn.
come on.
That's fine. No, you make a valid point. Why wouldn't you? Okay, yep.
Stamos took the role to get a discount on. Oh my God, I can't think of the
On his
attraction.
magic key?
Getting Primeval Whirl in the back of his house.
I mean, probably. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think every scene could use an Uncle Jesse in it, but
And when
Patrick
you
makes a
select
good point,
Muppets
though.
Haunted Mansion, that's the scene that shows up.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right, so they do this thing where he goes and Gonzo gets in there and he saves Pepe at the last minute, and they get out and they're back out in the graveyard, and they run into Darren Criss again, who has already made their tombstones. I mean, was that
The shrimp.
what
Pepper the shrimp.
Here rests Pepper the shrimp. So good. But
I like how he didn't even care that he called him Pepper. He was just like, I'm not a shrimp.
did you guys see what the bottom of that tombstone said?
Was it something
No.
like prawn but not forgotten?
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Yes.
Prawn but not forgotten. See, again, these are classic Muppet things. They happen so quickly, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like, how did I lose that so quickly? Yeah, it was
I want
really
that
good.
Tombstone. I'm gonna make one.
Okay. So then they're about to get out, and Will Arnett stops them and is like, hey, by the way, it's me. I'm the great. What was the character's name again? Oh, the MacGuffin. Because again, it's a MacGuffin the whole time, right?
Come on.
Yeah. MacGuffin. I didn't.
And there was
even-
the red herring in his pocket.
Yes.
Yep.
Pee-wee the red herring. And Pee-wee! Yeah. So here he is. This is Eric's alter ego.
Well, no, it's funny. Has the mustache. Gosh. Patrick made a good point. I thought it should have been Neil Patrick Harris. Since Neil Patrick
Yeah.
Harris is an actual magician. I was like, that would have been great.
Yep. You are the greatest, MacGuffin and Pee-wee. So good. Yeah. And then Yvette Nicole Brown shows up, and she takes them, and they get on the phone with Kermit, and they decide they're going to go have breakfast and have the party. And then we have this moment here that we all agree is a very sad moment with the icons of this attraction, really, to us, the ones that we get all the merch for and everything, and it's these things happening, and it seems like these could have been Muppets. I mean, and maybe you could have crafted something a little better for them. I don't know, but yeah,
That's what I thought.
So there were portions of it that I feel like were kind of done quickly, cheaply, and then some of it that looked like they were done over the top. So just want to wrap up here. Anything else that anybody want to talk about before we do final thoughts?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun.
Dun.
Okay, so we'll give final thoughts again. If you haven't already, give us please give us a thumbs up. It helps people to find the show, and let's everybody know that you like us, and we certainly need that feedback, that validation. It's all we crave. That's the reason we're here, right? I mean, especially Patrick Hackett. Yes. Okay. Cool. So we'll start with you, Wolf. Final thoughts. Actually, I'm going to ask the question that I always ask on Deep in the Plus, so I hope you're ready for it. Hold on to your hat. You're not wearing one. Wake the neighbors. Phone the kids. Here's the moment. Eric Wolf, would you recommend this movie?
Yes, definitely. This is just... Patrick said it earlier, and I agree 100%. It has become a Halloween just like tradition. I have to see this during Halloween time. Like, it's just so fun. If you love the Muppets, if you love the Haunted Mansion, honestly speaking, this is the special for you. Such a good job. They did so good. So good.
Awesome.
Yes, I can't even talk.
Well, Patrick, now that Wolf is copied off of your paper, what do you have to say?
This is must watch in the Halloween season. Add this with Toy Story of Terror because that's a fantastic one.
Yes.
It can't stop here, though. This is the thing. There are enough spooky attractions to go around.
Oh, you stole what I was going to say.
Every year. Tower of Terror. Do it. Could you imagine Sam Eagle in the marquee role there doing the spiel? Oh, goodness. Just give me more of this. Give me a whole fifth gate. All Muppet attractions. Extinct attractions we still have. Just Muppets everywhere. Why? Use more Muppets.
The great
UMM
Muppets movie ride.
So what I'm hearing you say is more Muppets. Gotcha. Okay, and now that Patrick has copied off of your paper, does he?
Well, they already stole what I was going to say. But yeah, it just makes me wanting more Muppets. Like, let's do this. Let's get rid of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and bring back the great Muppet movie ride. I mean, does anyone actually like the Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railway except my 2-year-old?
I like it. I just wish it wasn't on the bones, the graveyard of the great movie ride. I feel like they could have built it somewhere else. So, sorry to shoot that down. So, I mean, for me, I would say I agree with all of you guys. The irony is that we were going to review the Toy Story of Terror for this week, and when this came up, we were like, no, we gotta do this one instead. And I think I'm glad we all jumped on board. If you're looking for upcoming shows for spooky season, we're going to be doing Zombies on 10/19. Eric's dancing, you can't see him. We're going to do Coco on 10/26, and then we will be doing our first Nicolas Cage movie, which, I mean, why have we waited this long? I don't know. We're going to do National Treasure on 11/2.
Oh,
so
hey.
We're not doing that for like a 4th of July.
what's
Isn't this your second? Didn't you do?
Oh no, you're right.
Sorcerers.
Sorcerers. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right. You got me.
I was like, hold up.
He
Is
considers
that
that more than Jay Barrett.
There's been a correction, okay? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. All right. So thank you guys so much for reviewing. Thank you guys for watching, and thanks for everyone who did the super chats. So kind of you. We appreciate you guys being here. We hope that you'll join us for the rest of the movies we got coming in spooky season. We got a lot in the back half of the year that we're gonna, or the back quarter of the year that we're gonna be doing for Christmas. A lot of good stuff coming up. So thank you guys for tuning in to Deep in the Plus. Tell a friend. Tell your neighbors that they should watch, and again, we really appreciate you guys joining us. Carousel of Muppets. Patrick, you're out of your mind, but that's the most brilliant thing I've heard all night long. That's great, so thanks so much. All right, you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks again.